What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will have a huge update on Virgil van Dijk's ACL injury, and he has undergone an operation and we have news on how that went, and also we will preview the big Liverpool-West Ham game and tell you guys who will most likely start in the Liverpool defense with Fabinho, Matip and Van Dijk all out injured. So Gomez and another centre-back will start, and you will find out who is the most likely candidate for that in this video. So if you enjoy these videos, leave a like and let me know in the comments below what is your prediction for the Liverpool West Ham game. So David Maddock, who is a journalist in the Daily Mirror and he's very reliable, he actually posted some huge news on the Virgil van Dijk operation. He has underwent an ACL operation, and this is what he said. Surgery news on Van Dijk is huge, meaning there is a chance that he could play again this season. Jurgen Klopp says it was the best news you can get, and that is significant. That means that the surgery went clean and uncomplicated, which is the minimum requirement to cut the rehabilitation time from 7, 8, 9 months to maybe even less than 6 months. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said. The surgery on Van Dijk was completely successful, and that's really good. And I think that is huge news for Liverpool. If Van Dijk could be back in April, that could really help Liverpool in the final stretch, the final run to the title, hopefully. And cutting the rehabilitation period down to under 6 months from what possibly could have been 7, 8 months is a huge step for Liverpool. And Van Dijk, of course, is going to want to get back for Liverpool, playing as soon as possible, but he has to think about the Euros with the Netherlands as well. There is a huge summer tournament. Euro 2020 will be held this upcoming summer, and that kicks off in just 8 months, and the Dutch team will be desperate to see their captain and their best player Van Dijk back in action before that international tournament kicks off. I don't think we will rush Van Dijk back before the end of the season, but if his rehabilitation goes perfectly, then he could play the last few games of the season, especially if Liverpool are in the Champions League quarterfinals, semi-finals, and if we are in the run-in for the Premier League title. But I still believe that Liverpool absolutely have to sign a centre-back in the January transfer market. Let me know, who do you want Liverpool to sign? And even Liverpool put out an official announcement on their website saying that Van Dijk's planned operation took place in London by specialists and it was conducted successfully. And now Van Dijk will immediately focus on the beginning of his rehabilitation with the support of the Liverpool medical department. And Jurgen Klopp hinted that he could use Nathaniel Phillips or even somebody like Henderson, Milner, or even Andy Robertson as a centre-back against West Ham. This is what he said. I know Nat Phillips the longest, so I was really happy with this development that he stayed at Liverpool and he didn't leave the club. Since I know him, he made big steps and he's an exceptional character. I said it before that the little problem was that we were all convinced how it looked all the time. There were a lot of clubs interested in Phillips, and in the end, maybe because of the pandemic, nobody had the money to do the transfer, but we expected him to leave the club, to be honest. Thank God he didn't, but that's the reason why he's not in the Champions League squad. The only reason. He cannot be on the bench in the Champions League, but he's available for the Premier League like all other free defenders are, and now I have to make a decision. And we have still obviously other options like Henderson, Wijnaldum or James Milner, or even Robertson can play centre-half as well. They are all not smaller than Mascherano, for example, and Mascherano played pretty well in that position for Barcelona. So yes, we have obviously still 1 or 2 options, and one of them we will choose. Which one you have to switch on the television tomorrow night. Of course, Jurgen Klopp said this yesterday. I think that's brilliant, of course, that Jurgen Klopp is basically keeping all his cards to his chest and not giving anything away. But the fact that he's hinting that Nathaniel Phillips has a good chance, I think that we will go with either Phillips or Rhys Williams. I think those are the 2 obvious candidates. I don't really believe that Jurgen Klopp would chuck in somebody like Wijnaldum or Milner or Henderson in a centre back where they haven't really played there, never before. I think that the way Rhys Williams played against Midtjylland really earned him a chance to show everybody what he can do. And it looks like Michail Antonio could be out injured for West Ham. He has a hamstring injury, more on that a little bit later. Rhys Williams could have a slightly easier job without Antonio in the West Ham team. And Jurgen Klopp said, this is the toughest season ever, 100% for everybody. The teams with international football are in the toughest period ever, because October is like the usual December. November is like the usual December, and December is still like a December, and January will not be much different. So from 1 month with pretty much no break in previous Decembers to 4 months with pretty much no break, that's a massive challenge for everyone. Nobody knows exactly how to deal with it. We will see who gets through this and how we get through this, but we will fight with all we have. Whenever you get a problem in football, whatever it is mainly about missing players. It happens pretty much every year. Adam Lallana is right. You need a moment to settle, more or less, to realize that's it now. And from that moment on, I see it like it is. It's a challenge, and I like challenges, so I'm good with the situation. And now let's deal with it. Let's make the best of it. Let's see the chance in it, the opportunity for other players, and all these kind of things. Let's get even closer together. There are a lot of things you can take out of a situation like that. It's not easy, I know that, and it's not about saying a little bit and smiling here, smiling there. It's about really living the challenge, and that's what we are doing. And this is a huge opportunity for the young players. So far, Rhys Williams has really stood out. Remember that last season he played in the 6th tier of English football, and now he's about to make his Premier League debut. He already played 2 games in the Champions League, and Jurgen Klopp also continued. I'm involved in most of the things, but not all of the things. So it's not that I knew Rhys Williams before he went out on loan. We knew from the preseason Nat Phillips was back from his loan at Stuttgart. I know him for a long time already, and I like him a lot. He's a real character, a real fighter, and we know about Billy the Kid. He was in the preseason with us. Then when Billy was injured, and we thought, how can we fill it up? And Vitor Matos, the youth coach, says, no, there's Rhys Williams, he's really good. Okay, bring him up. And then I saw him the first time, and from the first moment, he's pretty impressive. He is a character as well, which helps. So that's the situation now. That's what I mean when you have problems. You need to realize there is a problem, then immediately you have to work on the solutions. Our solutions are now pretty young players. We will see how we will, and we can use them, but they will help us and we will help them, and Rhys is one of them. And I think this means that Rhys Williams will probably start against West Ham. That's my prediction, but it could be Nathaniel Phillips, depending on who impressed Jurgen Klopp the most and who doesn't have any injury problems, because the last thing Liverpool need is another injury at the back. But one of the reasons why Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp didn't sign a centre-back replacement for Dejan Lovren was because we have these young players, Rhys Williams, Nathaniel Phillips, Billy Koumetio, and even Sepp van den Berg. So we have 4 young players waiting in the wings to make an impression for Liverpool. So Michail Antonio has a hamstring injury, and he will definitely miss the Liverpool-West Ham game. And Antonio scored 11 goals in his past 13 Premier League games, and he has managed 39 in the Premier League in total. Only 3 players have more goals for West Ham than Michail Antonio, so even historically he's one of the most dangerous players at West Ham. So I'm actually happy that he's out, not happy that he's injured, but if from a Liverpool point of view, it's good that Rhys Williams or whoever starts at centre-back doesn't have to deal with the pace, the power of Michail Antonio. And also Liverpool have been given a welcome boost because Fabinho stated that he has no desire to leave Liverpool, and he even is eyeing on a contract extension. He has still 3 years left on his Liverpool contract, so there is no rush to extend his contract, but he wants to stay at Liverpool for an even longer time. And speaking to a newspaper, Fabinho confirmed that he's happy at Liverpool. This communication and leadership you notice mainly when Van Dijk is not on the field. We have other communicative players like Jordan Henderson, Milner, and the coach spoke with the backline and said that we had to learn. Maybe it is not my profile or Joe Gomez's profile, but we don't have to be afraid to work hard. Sometimes it's small things like winning the second ball, movement in pressure, reaction, things that help the midfielders. It's something I know I have to improve. I have this season and 2 more years of contract at Liverpool. I intend to fulfill these 3 years and soon see if there is even a renewal or not. But my focus today is on Liverpool, and I'm very happy here. I am in a league that is very good to play in, very competitive. When you play here, you do not want to leave. Liverpool have grown a lot in recent years. We have a strong team that has everything to continue like this, and what we are achieving with this group has entered history, and we can do more and more, and I want to be part of that. And I really hope that Fabinho gets back fit as soon as possible after the international break. My only worry is the Manchester City-Liverpool game. Without Fabinho, that will be incredibly tough. And also, Jurgen Klopp talked about Mo Salah's incredible season, who started the season on fire, scoring 7 goals in 10 games. Mo Salah has played an incredible season so far, and he developed again as a player from that pure goal-scoring machine to a more connecting player, very important for us. He's the hardest working. He can go and again use his speed, but technique between the lines as well. As a team, we have to develop. As players, we have to develop. That's normal because you have more experience, you have more games in your legs. That means you understand the game better and better and better, and you get more aware of your own skills and use them more consciously. I'm really happy with his development and the season so far, but of course we need him and all the boys in their best shape to achieve our targets, which I think is winning the Premier League and winning the Champions League. That's the target for Liverpool now, every season with Jurgen Klopp. And Jordan Henderson, before the West Ham game, said this. I've said it many times before, and it's not a cliche. Our fans do make a difference, and we have had yet more evidence of that over the last week, with our fans raising an incredible amount of money to support the food banks in Liverpool. As a team and as a club, this is a cause that's become very close to our heart, and one of the other things that we most miss about match days at Anfield is the sight of the fans supporting food banks when collecting, because it is always such a hive of activity. Having spoken to the volunteers a couple of times, I know they have always hoped for a situation in which they would not have to collect food, but not being able to collect is another thing entirely, especially as they rely on the donations and that they receive on a match day, simply because the generosity of our supporters makes such a difference. So the fact that our supporters have taken this generosity online during a global crisis tells you everything that you need to know about the Liverpool fans. I know that many of you have not been happy about the pay-per-view cost, but have turned this negativity into a positive, and in doing so have shown the kind of solidarity that is going to continue to be needed as the crisis carries on. I'm not able to tell you in words how proud I am of you and to play for you. As players, we thrive on the appreciation of supporters. Right now, our supporters should know that we appreciate you more than ever. At some point, and hopefully one not too far away, we will be able to show this in pre-season, but until that moment arrives, we will show our appreciation in the best way possible by continuing to give our all on the page, so that every Liverpool fan who is following from home knows that even if you are not with us in person, we are still playing for you. What a brilliant interview by Jordan Henderson, and I'm so happy that he is the captain of Liverpool FC. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool news video. More to come later today. I'm covering the Liverpool West Ham game. Really excited about that. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.